Welcome back. So, new rubber mounts for the handlebars. You see the little cone-shaped things. 70, 71 took these. 72 has style changed again. Make sure you know what you got before you order them. Probably should put a little bit of grease on this just to make life easy. All right. So these go through the headlight bracket, through those rubber mounts. Then we put our washers and our nut on. And we'll save tightening this nut till after the handlebars are on, so everything kind of lines up all right. After you tighten the nut, there's a clip that goes through all that hole there, just to make sure the bolt doesn't back out or the nut doesn't back off. Don't want to lose your handlebars going down the road, do you? If you remember, we replaced this. I'm just going to put the screws in lightly because I don't have the new washers that I wanted to put in here yet. I got to find a set that will match the size that I need because they're kind of big for the size screw that goes through them. Wide, I should say. Well, we can put those in later. We'll just get that in now. Okay, those through there. I didn't mark any of the wiring before I took it out as to what went where. I never do. And the funny thing is I don't really go by a schematic either because I'm colorblind. I do, I don't know how to explain it. I just test everything as I put it together with test lights or a voltmeter or something like that. I know some of you would be like, no, you just put a piece of tape on it and mark it. Kind of like someone did on these. But that's not me. Not my style. Okay. Ignition switch, headlight in there. This wire that runs off here is a ground. That much we know. We know this bulb is no good. So that's got to be changed. But I can still bring it in here and plug it in. There's another ground. I mean, there's not a lot in here, if you think about it. Got a high and low beam, which we got to figure out, you know, which wire gives us the high beam. Lights, which all, you know, for the gauges, which are in a plug, pretty much except for this one. The turn signals, got to figure out which is left and right. The headlight. And I mean, what really more is there? The ignition switch just plugs in. Yeah. Brake light switch comes in here. The signal light switch. All that stuff comes in here. I'm probably making it sound worse than it is. It's not that bad. Don't be afraid to do this stuff at home. The biggest problem I see with people doing this stuff at home is when they run into jams. They go on the internet and they start asking questions. And people are real jerks sometimes when you ask questions. The favorite one is go buy a manual. Not all this stuff is in the manual. Trust me, I know. Manuals help. Have I used a manual at all this whole time? Nope. Trying to decide the angle I want them at. So what I like to do, let me get you over here, is I kind of like to have how the fork angle is at the same angle the bars are. I don't know if you can see that or not. Makes it look nice and straight. And with these, you just tighten them back and forth. The socket's getting stuck in there for some reason. It's weird. Okay, the problem with me testing all these lights and stuff right now is the battery I was using to test this stuff is in there. Because I got that one running, in case you didn't see that video. So, yeah, the battery's in there. I could take it out and put it in here, I suppose. Just to check some of the wiring. So this grip stick, I know some people use hairspray and all that. I buy this grip stick stuff. I had a whole cart of these things. I'm on my last tube. I only need to put this grip on because the other one I still have on the original tube for the throttle. There was no need to take that one off. All right, let's cut this open. Get this out. Hopefully I don't cut the tube. Working with this stuff is, you've never done it before, you've only got so many seconds, right, to get your stuff on here and get it to work. I put a little on the end here, but I also put it in the grip because the grip, when you push it on, it'll push it back into the grip. If you push it here, it'll just push it along the tube. You want to get it to push down inside the grip. All right, pop that little thing. On inside the grip. A little on here. Okay. Well, we've only got so much time to get this on there, right? It's got to go on to about there somewhere. Oh, this is too easy. That's it. Let it sit and do its job. But I had to get that on so I would know where to put this, where that would mount. Gonna go up here somewhere. Mind my big head getting in the screen. We just want the wires for this. Right in here, probably right about there. Okay. And if I'm riding it here, I probably want the clutch to be right about there. We can always adjust this afterwards. We'll leave it like that for now. But at least we got these wires. now we can run these wires into the headlight bucket. It's always one that wants to twist. Oh, damn it. Not supposed to record when I have my music on. What we're going to do now is we're going to tighten up this pinch bolt on the top of the steering cap here. Then we're going to put the steering damper in. All right, so I spent some time doing the wiring inside the headlight. Looks like a rat's nest, but got everything to work. Signal lights, headlight, high beam. I need a couple of bulbs to put in the gauges, but other than that, we're okay. The brake light switch works. I just have it hanging down there because I don't have it set up here yet. But that'll be coming up next. Okay, so headlights in, on, off, high, low. We're good there. I've got the front brake light switch on there. So if I don't have a cable on there, but you can see if I pull it in, turns the brake light on. Pull it back, no light. So I think we got the wiring all figured out. So I was thinking about it last night, why the horn didn't work. Keys on, push the button, nothing. Then I was wondering, what if, and I have my test light on the positive, lights on, there's no ground. There's no ground to the bars. So how the horn button works is the horn gets power all the time. When you hit the button, it grounds through the steering column, sends that ground to the horn and makes the horn go off. So if I hook a jumper from what we know is ground to the bottom of here, we should get some kind of pathetic attempt at a horn. But at least now we know the wiring circuit works. We just got to figure out why we don't have ground to the handlebars. And I mean, it's easy enough, even if I had to just run a wire from there to a ground somewhere. So that's not a big deal. All right, so today, I think what I'm going to do is start installing cables on the handlebars, throttles, front brake, speedometer, tach. I'll probably put the clutch one in too. All right, I'll set you up. I guess we'll start with the throttle cables. Why not, right? So there is a left and a right throttle cable. Not much of a difference other than the height of these. So one goes inside the other when they get installed. Let's see, how does this go? It goes like this. So that would make this the inside one. This the outside, is that correct? Yes. I'll be blocking it because I'm right-handed. All right, there's always one that gives you a little bit of trouble. Okay. Make sure that this is in as far as it will go. This one threads in, this one should just drop all the way through and then thread into this retaining clamp, which is going to hold these cables inside here. At least that's the plan anyway. Right. All right, should be good there. We'll walk this back to meet up with there. Let's go down, down a little more. All right, I think that's good. We'll lock up this bolt and we'll have our throttle cables in. actually think I'm going to spin this if I can. That looks a little more even. All right. Now, hopefully you can see this. Hopefully you can see this. Run our two cables through here. I'll run up through here and then down to each carb. All right. Let's do the front brake cable next. Okay, I have this routed up through that loop in front of the bottom tree, past the headlight and up to here. This should be pretty easy. You just line all these slots up so the cable can come through. Hook it to your perch, and that side's connected. Now, let's do the bottom, because this one is kind of a pain. I'm going to have to move you for this one. Okay, the easiest way that I've found to do these is you've got to thread this all the way in. All right, now that you've got to thread it all the way in, pull the pin out. Get it connected there. And then you can put the pin back in. And put your clip in there. And then you can make your adjustments from there. All right, I'll put that pin in. You don't need to see that. And we'll move on to, might as well do the speedometer cable. So what I found out, even with new cables that you buy, a lot of times they need a little oiling. Something very light, Marvel Mystery Oil, 3-in-1 oil, something like that. Even Tap Magic, just something really light. So again, with this one, it's going to go down through that same, this speedometer cable. It's going to go down through that same hole. Put it right through there. Now this bolt, which has to be long enough to go through it, so it's, I think it's 25 millimeter or so long. Snug that up. It's going to run up here. Get this out around here. Love doing stuff one-handed. And we're going to Gonna put a few drops of oil down. And then it'll work its way down. Make sure that this is engaged. So many little things you gotta do when you're rebuilding one of these bikes, or any bike. I could make a whole nother video on stuff that that I haven't added in here. Alright, and then I secure that cable in there. Alright, that takes care of the cables on the front wheel. Let's put the tack cable in next. This cable's pretty easy. You just put it through that loop in the frame, run it up underneath to the tack, and tighten it up. Now the clutch cable we can put in here and run it down there, but when I go to install it down there, I may have to remove it from up here again. Definitely oil your clutch cable pre-installation. You do not want hard clutch. So we're going to run up. It's going to run by the tank. Just gonna run it like that for now. That's gonna run all the way over here and down to the clutch cover. So that is all our cables. Let's find something else to do. All right, we adjusted the front brake, but we never actually set it. So I have the nut here loose, the axle nut, wheel spins. What we're gonna do is we're gonna spin the wheel, hit the brake. Now that action should center the drum in the rim. I just want to hold that while we tighten the nut. Okay, we can tighten that, put the pin through it, then we should be good. I can lock, put a bolt in and lock this end down too. It might be there already. Okay, get a bolt. And I believe in the last video, maybe it was a video before that, when I put the front forks in, I didn't show adding oil to them, but rest assured, I did put oil in them because I was having all that trouble with the springs. But yes, there is oil in there. All right, let's just pause and take a look at what we've got so far. Taillight lens, clean this all up, put all new rubber parts on the rear fender, signal lights, red lenses, new rear tire, rear wheel bearings, new axle, adjusters, rear sprocket, swing arm bushings replaced. We added a center stand because that was missing. We still got to get a battery because we stole it from that beautiful bike. Let's see, what else have we done back here? Anything? Okay. Engine, adjusted the valves, adjusted the cam chain, put new covers on. I replaced that because I broke it. New breather hoses, new balancer tube down there, new clutches on that side, remove the whole front end, new front tire, new wheel bearings, new fork seals and O-rings and scrapers. These trim pieces are new, hardware's new, axle's new, fork ears are new, well, original but repainted, not the original of this bike. New signals, headlight shell, put all the cables on. We got to put a new ignition switch in. These are new handlebars, same grips, everything else is just polished up except the levers have been replaced, fork caps have been replaced. These bolts are new. Fix the signal light issue that it had at the beginning. Put a new flasher in there. All these rubber bushings in here. So yeah, we've come a long way. It's not like we have a long way to go. What is next? Well, we changed the oil in this, replaced the filters. There's no oil in it now because the clutch side is off. I've got to put a chain on it, I've got to put a sprocket on it, but charging and ignition. Once those two things are done, I think this bike goes back together, carbs on it, and we try it. And if we can get it to run and run good, we'll take it for its first ride. So it's not going to be that long. Just, maybe a few more weeks. We'll see. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.